Cystic fibrosis can be a devastating diagnosis, but living with the disease can bring positivity and a new appreciation for each day. From the Bonnell Foundation in Detroit, Michigan, it's the Living with Cystic Fibrosis podcast. Nothing on the Bonnell Foundation Living with Cystic Fibrosis podcast should be considered medical advice. Medical advice can only come from your CF physician. Here's your host, Laura Bonnell.
And today we're going to be talking to Kev F. And first I want to tell everyone how we met. So a mutual friend of ours, Jill Jack, is a singer-songwriter here in Metro Detroit and all over the place. And she opens for a lot of groups that everyone knows. But our daughters had gone to school together, and that's how we knew one another. And she called me about a month ago and said, "Hey, I met this guy. He's amazing." And she told me all about you. And she's like, "You got to meet him. And oh, by the way, he happens to have cystic fibrosis." And I said, "Stop. That's so cool. Like, my life is aligned by CF connections." And I was like, "Coincidentally, I have this event in September. Like, you think you'd want to sing for that?" She goes, "Oh my gosh, yeah, he's the next." He's like, think Maroon 5, that's Kev. He's amazing. He sings so great. And then I heard your voice and I heard your song. One of your friends happened to, independently of Jill, send me that. So I listened to you and I was like, oh my gosh, he is amazing. And then we met. So start by just telling us a little bit about your story, when you were diagnosed. And everybody who knows somebody with CF knows that, Kev, you're going to cough every now and then, clear your throat, whatever it is. And people who aren't familiar with cystic fibrosis, there you go.
So my name is Kevin, and I got diagnosed at 3 months old. I wasn't gaining weight, and the doctors didn't know what was wrong. And they did all these tests and all these different panels. Finally did a sweat test, and they saw that I had CF. When I started doing enzymes, everything started to get better. They put it in my applesauce, they put it in my food, all that good stuff. Growing up, I had a pretty lucky life with CF. I only been in the hospital one time when I was a child. It was for the flu, and I got through it with flying colors. But I've always had this little cough and stomach upset, and the doctor's always telling me to eat very, very fatty foods, even though my body didn't like them. They made me very tired, and it's because they're not good for you. I was eating Taco Bell probably every day, once a day. It was bad. I don't do that anymore. I couldn't do it.
Did you say how old you were when you were diagnosed?
3 months.
3 months. Yeah. Okay. Same as my daughter, Molly.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That's crazy.
So you're diagnosed, and then it becomes your life. And then when did you decide that you wanted to sing? Mm-hmm. And then you have your stage name.
So very interesting. And this is like talking with you and Jill has inspired me that there is something guiding all of this. If you're a good person and you care about people, good things will happen if you got to focus, right? And you want to change something. You want to do something for your soul. And I feel like the stars aligned when I went to a Jason Mraz concert in 2013. My dad came in my room and said, "Kevin, you want to go see a concert?" My dad's always been musical. I've liked music, but I wasn't like, I want to sing and play an instrument. I never did that until I was 20, until I'll get to that. But he's like, "Let's go to this concert." He's like, "Let's go see Jason Mraz." And he's like, he's got this. I said, "I know this song called I Won't Give Up." And I was like, "Oh, well, check it out. Let's go." My dad bought the tickets, free tickets, right? So I went to the show, and I was just awed. I've never felt so much emotion. And I was so inspired that I started watching videos of him, just hours. It was like, it was telling me I need to start doing this. And I didn't know if I had a voice or not. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I stopped taking antibiotics for my acne. This is acne. This is not CF. And I got cystic acne from that. And I don't know how that all happens, but either the antibiotics are covering it up or whatever. So I dropped out of school from this really bad cystic acne, and I had nothing to do. So my dad was like, "Well, you've been watching these Jason Mraz videos and all this. Why don't you try picking up an instrument?" At 20 years old, I picked up an instrument, never sang, never did choir, never played anything. And I was going into this completely new. And all I had to guide me was Jason. And just his songs inspired me to just try it. And then I started writing. I slowly, gradually started writing like good songs. And my dad's like, where did that come from? And I started taking vocal lessons. And then I played my first open mic in 2013 at a just little bar down the road from me. And then I was like, wow, this is cool. And then I just kept obsessing and just kept writing and finally got a good song. And my dad was like, wow, that's good. You should go play that. And I was taking lessons that whole time, vocal lessons. And he's like, wow, you got a good voice. Like, you should try and do this. My parents have been very supportive. My dad is my biggest supporter, and my mom, but my dad in a special way because his dream as a kid was to be a drummer. He would take his drum set out to the desert when he was working in construction areas and practice. So he's been guiding me, and I just think all of this, if I would have never went to that show and never experienced that severe acne and depression, I would have never done music, ever.
And the songs that you're writing, are they CF related or?
I have one song that's about cystic fibrosis. It's called 65 Roses. And then all my other songs, I feel like they're inspired in some way by CF, just to live your life and try to accept what you've been given and keep going. Because there's kids that have cancer that die at 8 years old. There's people that die in car accidents. You're here, live. Because there's so many people before you that have died so much earlier. You might as well keep going, right? There's tragedy. So
do you want to pick up your guitar and play us
I'd love to play
a little something?
This is called Leave It All to Your Heart. This is a song I wrote about just, deep down what's causing your problems, and you can always fix it. What about love? What about love? All the little things we think about it. What about change? What about change? Maybe we will see a better day. Let's rearrange all the choices we can't make, all the decisions we can't take, all the impossible habits we just can't break. Leave it all to your heart.
I don't want to stop you, but it's so good. Like, how do you feel when you're singing this? Do you always make a CF connection, or is it just the music?
Yeah, I think I feel free. I feel like nothing really matters but this moment right now with this song. And I'm trying to give that to the listener as well, to try to get away.
We can take a little break from that for a second. We'll have you play another one too, but I want to talk more about your journey and about kind of where you're going and where you hope to head.
Yeah.
So you're just now starting to be a part of the CF community.
Yeah.
And you want to, right?
Yeah. I'd love to.
Do you have other friends with CF, even though, of course, you can't be in the same room with them? And
so, yeah,
all that goes with that.
Yeah, I have one girl that I knew in high school. She went to my elementary school, middle school, all that. And we had to stay away from each other. So they made sure we weren't in the same classes and didn't cross paths a lot. I talk to her here and there, and I just kind of see how she's doing. We're not very close, but she's definitely been on the more unhealthy side than I have. She's in the hospital frequently, but she's still doing well. She just got married. And I know just one person, but now I know a couple more, so it's good.
Right. Yeah. And my daughters know of you.
Yeah.
Even though they haven't met you yet. How did the name Kev F, how did your, I guess, stage name come up?
So I pronounce it Kev. So the F is silent. It's kind of just something
It's a gimmick.
Because I try to look for a domain for a website. They didn't have KEV available. There's a bunch of artists on Spotify that have KEV as their name. So I just was like, all right, let's try and add an F. And I made up the F is silent. So a lot of people are like, what is that? And it gets them talking. And I love it. I think it's me. I always try to be different, as long as it's not too wacky. I don't think it's too wacky. But in my personal life, I don't like doing what everybody else does. I like staying away. I like straying away. That's a better word. I like being different.
So you've always embraced your CF, it sounds like, but now you're looking more to be more of the CF community?
Yeah. I think back then it kind of depressed me, knowing I had this condition, and I tried to kind of put it off. I kind of like in my head, I'm like, why do I want to see all these stories and all this? And I think I've grown and matured, and it's actually inspired me. It's done the opposite. Now my goal is to show people that you can do anything you put your mind to. That's what I'm trying to inspire. That's my goal.
And at our event on September 28th, you're going to be around a whole new, different group of people that have never heard you before. Are you excited about that?
So excited. Yeah, I couldn't be more. I'm just like, I want to inspire. I want to show people, even with disabilities, you could say, you can do what you want to do. You just got to put the time in.
And your voice, how did you discover it? Because it sounds different when you sing.
Right.
And your voice is beautiful.
Thank you.
So how did you discover it? Did you think, oh my gosh, who knew?
You know, for a while when I started doing lessons, it took me a while to get that full voice sound. So it was kind of a very gradual process. Everyone's like, I really like the tone of your voice. And I'm just like, but I'm not that great yet at singing. And it gradually, when I got better, I was like, wow, I sounded really good on this song. It was definitely a gradual process of that.
And obviously when you go sing, no one knows you have CF unless it's for an event.
Yep. No, I mean, sometimes the biggest, most nerve-wracking thing is when people don't know you have CF and then you're coughing, and there's a stigma that a lot of musicians smoke cigarettes, smoke weed, all this stuff. And I have no hate against that. People do whatever they want. But, you know, they kind of make judgments. Oh, he's just smoking a bunch, whatever. But aside from that, I get like, because with CF, you always have stuff coming up.
Right.
So when I'm singing, sometimes I'll have something, I'm like, shoot, you know, I got to hit this note. And it can really throw off things. But I got to keep going. This is who I am. That's what I have to remember.
So moving forward, obviously at the Bonnell Foundation event, everyone will know you have CF, but moving forward, are you going to talk about it a little bit, or did you even think that far ahead?
With music, I don't want to just be known for having CF. I want to be respected for the songs I write, not necessarily because I have CF. But people are going to know. If a lot of people get to know me, they're going to know that I have it. But I don't want to make that the main focus. But it's always on the back burner where they're like, wow, he's doing it.
Right.
That's
and I get that from your perspective, but from my perspective, you're talented, so the rest doesn't matter. But it's that connection.
It is a tool.
Kev's got CF. Awesome.
Yeah.
From the parent and CF community, like you would connect with anybody.
Right, I get that totally.
Yeah,
I would see that would be cool. Like if I ever had the pleasure of playing a bigger venue, I would do everything I could to have donations, like a donation place for CF, wherever I want. That would be a dream. That would be so cool to do that.
So other siblings that have CF?
No, my brother didn't get it. We had someone in our family, my great grandma, she had a child that kind of passed away from pneumonia, and they didn't know why back in the 1900s. There was no reason why, and I think it could have been CF. but we don't know. But it
Gotcha.
could have been, they described she was having difficulty eating and lots of coughing, but they didn't. It was just passed along, and that's how I know about it.
So, of course, we want to hear more on your CF journey, but where are you as far as writing songs? What are you inspired by that's giving you your
Fuel.
material?
The biggest things that inspire me is I've been just listening to a lot of good acoustic music, artists from all over, like Jason, Jack Johnson, John Mayer, those people I love. Gavin DeGraw I really like. Stevie Wonder, Elton John, Neil Young I've been starting to listen to a little bit. The old stuff is good stuff. But even looking at stories, like I just saw a friend on Instagram, he knew someone who died from CF, I think it was a couple days ago, and she was a bodybuilder. She passed away, and I was just inspired to be like, all right, today's a new day. Keep going. So
Just wanted to set the scene. I probably should have done it sooner, but, we're sitting in my backyard. We're outside. It's lovely. But before you could even sit down, we had to Lysol the seat because I have kids with CF, obviously, and the hand sanitizer, and you brought your own water and all those concerns. When you go to a gig or you're playing somewhere, are you worried about other germs also, or how does that?
Yes, absolutely. So when I go play, if I go play open mics, which I should remember to do every time, is wiping down the mic because we use the same mic. So, and I usually get into it and I touch the mic, and it's pretty dumb that I don't remember to do that every time. But yeah, I usually try to bring my own mics to my gigs just for precaution.
And what do your parents think about your success and kind of where you're headed?
They're like all in. And that's partly of what is so cool about it, is because they're like, go for it. You got one life to do it. And you have a light to shine. I literally couldn't ask for any more support. No, I couldn't.
So are you trying to do this full
Yeah.
time and just...
I'm trying to do it.
So if somebody wants to hire you for a gig, where should they go? How should they get a hold of you?
On my Facebook, you could look up Kev. You could email me at kevmusic, KEVFmusic@gmail.com. I'm getting a website together right now as we speak. So
Fantastic. Yeah. And you're what, 27?
25.
25.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for people who are your age and maybe kind of figuring it out? Some people with CF have been hospitalized more or less than you, but what words of wisdom do you have for young people who are about your age?
Keep fighting, because there's always a positive thing that can happen that could just change your whole outlook. Give it time. You'll get back to that place. We all get in those highs and lows, maybe some more than others, but it's so worth it when you get in that positive space. So worth it. That's what I fight for. So,
is there another song that you're going to play on September 28th that you can play for us?
yeah, I can play another song. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Absolutely.
And if anyone wants to see you, they, of course, can come to our event and go to our foundation, which you'll hear our website at the end of the show. But yeah, that would be great.
Yeah,
People
absolutely.
can come out and hear you.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So this song is called Listen to the Music. I listen to the music. I listen to your heartbeat. And let every little thing go crawling out your veins like a river flowing into the sea. Listen to the music. I let it heal your bones. I watch it take control. You're feeling down, you wanna get out of this town, but you don't know how you're feeling trapped. You just wanna relax, kick your feet up, let your thoughts drift away. Listen to the music, listen to your heartbeat. And let every little thing go crawling out your veins like a river flowing into the sea. Listen to the music. Let it heal your bones. Watch it take control. Music is the remedy. Yeah. Oh. just lost my job, but I ain't running around, 'cause I got the music to build my soul today. And all you mother lovers, all you broke brothers, get on the floor tonight. Sing this with me. Sing this with me. And listen to the music. And listen to your heartbeat. And let every little thing go crawling out your veins like a river flowing into the sea. Listen to the music. And let it heal your bones. Watch it take control. The music is the remedy. Yeah. Oh. Listen to the music, listen to your heartbeat. Stay for a while, kick your shoes up, both feet relax, 'cause it's time I'ma let my soul breathe. With the rhythm in your head, it's all you ever need. You've been thinking this way, yeah, for too long. Time to switch things up for you to move on. These are the cards that you've been dealt to play with. Let it all hang out and just own it, own it, own it. Whoa, yeah. Listen to the music, listen to your heartbeat, and let every little thing go crawling out your veins like a river flowing into the sea. Listen to the music, and let it heal your bones. Watch it take control. Listen to the music, man, why are you stressing? You got your whole life ahead of you. I mean, we're all not getting out of here alive, so we might as well have a good time. Yeah, this is art. It colors up our world. I think it's time for you to see who you really are. This is your time. This is your life. Enjoy it.
Fantastic. So beautiful.
Thank you very
I mean, you're really going places, you know? I think Jill Jack was right. You know, you really absolutely have something. You feel it now?
Yeah, I do.
Where do you want to, what is success to you? Where do you want to be with your music?
Yeah, success to me is being able to go play venues. I want to travel. I think it'd be so cool to share my music all over the world. At least all over the country, I think it'd be cool. Just for people to show up to shows that care about your music and you, I think it would be so cool. I want to see a lot of cool places. I think that's one of the things that inspires me to keep going is I want to travel. I think it'd be very, very cool. And to share and to do what I like for a living. So.
Thanks. And before we wrap it up, what's kind of been the hardest thing about having CF?
The hardest thing about CF so far, I think for me, is my mental state, that portion of it. I think it can get me down when I see other people saying their minor issues and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got a cough all the time. I got stomach problems every day, and I compare and contrast. And I think that's part of my brain that I have an issue with, that I'm trying to get better. But yeah, I think it's more of just it can get me down when I think, man, will I be able to have kids? Will I be able to be happy without suffering, later in life? I want to live a long time. And I'm finding my way.
You're doing a great job finding your way. I mean, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
This transition and the journey you're on, you can see the success around you and everything. And I'm sure you've inspired people who are listening. Yeah. And we can't wait to see you on September 28th and other events too. But
it's going to be fantastic.
It will be. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Laura.
This has been the Living with Cystic Fibrosis podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast app so you don't miss an episode. For more information and to learn more about the Bonnell Foundation, check us out online at thebonnellfoundation.org. That's the BONNELL foundation.org. Or follow us on social at the Bonnell Foundation.